how to enable TCP UDP 514 port listening. Okay.
Can you try this one? Sudo IP table.
Now I think it should work. So what was happened earlier? Firewall was not active only. Now I just updated and enabled the firewall using these commands. Right, I'll show you. Allow rules added C514. It was already done. I'll show you here. See here I had already done on for TCP, but I was checking through the firewall. Okay, like the proper process why it was not happening. So now, so what I used is here. Um, I checked that this firewall LLD service is not found. Okay, right? I got this thing. So it was not enabled only the properly, or there may be some services that is stopping it. Okay, so what I did is I just updated everything. mm, sudo apt update. Okay, then I installed this UFC. This for firewall it is okay. Once I installed everything again, this UFC, UFW, sorry, then I try to enable it, and then I got the firewall is active. Firewall is active and enabled on system startup. Then I try to add it by using sudo ufw allow 514/tcp. Same thing for UDP, and I check the status that it is allowed. 514 TCP allowed. Okay.
So, Sujit, can we check the status for that agent in Linux? Like just to
Mhm.
check whether the agent is installed or showing in the system or not.
Which agent?
AMA.
Okay. To check for Azure monitor agent, right?
Yes, yes.
So the command will be like system ctl status Azure monitor agent. So it is running. It is inactive. You can see, right?
Yes, I can see. So the monitor is done. Started. Okay.
Okay. Now I will come to an important thing. One more. That is, so what happens is, Azure stores its all the logs. I mean, so let's say you have all the data sources, all the firewall, like 10 firewall logs you're sending to this log forwarder. Okay. And from this log forwarder, you're sending to Sentinel, like we discussed yesterday, right? Clear? Now, all the logs that are being forwarded, it is not getting stored here, but is on live. Means it is sending directly to the Sentinel, okay, on in live production state, okay. But somewhere it is for for in some folder it will be coming, right. It will not directly send it in the network. It's not a one single flow, right. It will come to a directory or a file, var log, and from there it will take like firewall logs are coming to log forwarder, and it is getting coming to one directory that is var log. I'll show you cd/var cd/log. Mm, wait. Okay, so here you're getting you will be storing all the logs. So whether it is the system logs itself, like kernel logs we have, okay, authorization logs we have, all these things, logs we have, even firewall logs we are having here.
Azure
So
logs.
all the
What is Azure?
where
There Azure
what is
auth.log below.
that is authorization logs.
Okay. And below is
This is
Azure.
just it is another file or folder.
Okay.
We are not going to talk on that. Okay.
Mm.
So all all the logs come and stored here. We cannot say stored here, but it comes here, and then from here it goes to Sentinel. Okay. The AMA basically is designed such a way that um, it will only fetch logs if it is coming to var log directory only. Okay. There is no other way. So once a client requirement was that we will not send it to var logs. We will send it to some other file, some other directory. They will make another separate directory where they will send the logs, and from there they want us to fetch the logs and take. We told them it is not possible, but they told that means they were adamant on that. But finally they had to means we did all the stuff like duplicating the logs from one directory to another, like directly copying from one, but it will not happen. So for so you need to understand only if the logs are coming to var logs, then only you will get the logs in your AMA. So by default, it only comes to var log only, in Linux. So that's not need to be worried. You just need to understand that where the logs come in. Okay, it comes in var/log directory. Okay. Now, what happens is that problem is that major people doesn't know this. Um, what happens if the var log capacity is full? There is I've shared you my secure. Wait. disk space check. I've given this right. So you can use this command to check the disk space. Okay, like okay df -h / log. So how much is it? It is 29. Total size is 29 GB. Used is 2.6 GB. Available is 26 GB. 10% used. Okay. Um, so this is for all it is showing. Where logs it's not showing because nothing much has been used. Okay. If the capacity would full, it will show you here. Okay. So what happens sometimes is that whenever there is a ingestion is pretty high. Okay. Then the var log capacity gets full. Okay. If var log is allotted with 10 GB, then if the 10 GB gets full, the log will stop. Okay. The log ingestion will stop. Are you getting me, guys, or are you not getting me? Please be
Like
vocal.
if this machine is not storing the data like you said,
Mm-hmm.
it's just directly forwarding the data logs to the AMA and AMA is directly forwarding the data.
Mm-hmm.
Then why we are keeping the logs in the where?
Why they're keeping the logs in the var logs?
Yeah.
Okay, that, yeah, I was about to come there, but it's a good question. That since it is not storing anyway, then why the capacity is increasing, right? Okay, so there is a file, there is a folder, okay, which stores the cache file by default. Okay, it is 6 GB extended to 10 GB. It stores the logs for some period of time, cache file. Okay, cache logs. Okay, why? Because let's say if there is any network problem, okay, the network connectivity for some reason fails.
Mhm.
Okay, what will happen?
The logs will be generated for the disconnections, right?
Whatever generated, will it go to Sentinel? It will not go, na?
No, no, it will not go.
That means you suppose for 6 hours the logs for the network connectivity was lost. Since it is a live movement that is happening, you'll not be able to get that logs. That 6 hours of logs are lost, right?
Yes, right.
Correct. Then which is a impact to the production, which
Yeah.
is not acceptable because it is security monitoring.
Yes.
Okay, security monitoring means you cannot lose one log also. That's the
Mm.
reason there is a cache file in a folder. The AMA is designed such a way that it will store the cache file to some extent, and then regularly it will delete. Okay, in a certain period of time, like maybe in one day, after 6 GB. It was 6 GB almost. I've read it. So
Mm.
after that, it will delete it if it gets full.
Okay.
But suppose if the ingestion is too much, then it will get full first. Okay, the capacity will get full first, and deleting it will not work. It will delete and again it will get full. So eventually the log ingestion stops. So it happened. Okay, it happened in few cases. So Microsoft told that, yeah,
So it means like a AMA agent is cache the logs in the where file. Even
well logs. Right.
where logs.
So I'll tell you. Hmm. So here is it. Okay. So here you see what it says. So it stores it here. Okay. Buffer event, it will store it here. And the directory takes 650 MB of disk space at idle. The size of disk increases when it's under sustained logging load. It gets cleans every 60 seconds, reducing back to 650 MB. Okay, so normally it will here in this directory, it has allotted 650 MB of disk, but it will go on and increase up to maximum 10 GB, and then it will it is not written here, but it is from Microsoft that I'm talking about. Okay, and it will get clean every 60 seconds. But what happens sometimes that suppose the ingestion is too high, right? Then what will happen? It will work to delete it, but since the process is going on, it is not stopping because the ingestion is too high. It will not be able to delete it. So in simple terms, you just understand that when the ingestion rate is too high, the var directory, okay, the capacity will get full, and for that, it will not be able to send any logs. Okay, this much you understood? You're not
Clear,
mute.
not much clear.
What you did not? What you understood? Can you tell me?
Like the where file like took the 600 MB space, right? As I understood.
Hmm.
Okay, so it just cached the log, right?
Hmm.
So if it's like and it's like deleting the logs every 60 seconds. So like
Hmm.
it frees the space to 650 MB again.
Hmm.
And if the log ingestion is high, like
Hmm.
this continuous log is coming,
Hmm.
okay. So means it is not able, like that, the VAR is not able to delete the
Hmm.
existing cache logs, you mean,
Right.
and that's why the space got fully utilized.
Yes.
Okay, okay.
So, so what you did not understand?
No, no, no. I'm just it means like if the log ingestion is high, so
Hmm.
why the VAR is not deleting the file?
Okay.
Like it's a by
Okay.
default process now, right?
Okay. Tell me one thing. If the ingestion is too high, that means the logs are continuously coming,
Yes.
and in that period, if I delete something, That means I'm deleting the live logs.
Yes.
If you're deleting the live logs, then will you be able to get in Sentinel?
No.
That means that means the AMA is doing something wrong. That means it is not able to. That means it is deleting the actual logs. That is not acceptable, right? This
Okay,
process is.
means ओके बट मैं समझ रहा हूँ कि इसका प्रोसेस थोड़ा स्लो है मतलब प्रोसेस इन द सेंस कि लॉग इंजेक्शन का प्रोसेस स्लो हो जाएगा लेकिन जो 60 वो जो डेटा 600 एमबी का स्टोर करेगा वो वहाँ पर
Hmm?
ठीक है तो उसको 60 सेकंड के बाद वो दूसरा डेटा उसकी जगह पर आ जाएगा राइट आना चाहिए
No. See, जब आप ingestion, so there is a thing called EPS. Okay, I told you EPS count, correct?
Yeah.
You remember?
Even per second.
Event per second, right?
Okay.
Now it has increased. So actually, if I'll tell you, this var log capacity is a problem from Microsoft. They did it, but they thought that it is happening. It is not actually happening the right way. Okay, so we configured it. We were actually making a what we were doing some alternate ways. I'll tell you what we were doing it. Okay, now Microsoft is working on it. Means for this actually we are the first client on which Microsoft will do that configurational change and decide itself. I told you. So this was the problem which is going to be rectified now. Okay, first of all, so you're telling that the ingestion should be slow. It should anyway. If it is the ingestion should be if it is high, then it should send. And the 60-second process is a continuous process, so it will delete it. It should delete it. Why it is not deleting it?
Yes.
Right. First of all, do you know exception handling in program when you create a program?
No.
Okay. So in DevOps or normal in programming, okay, there is exception handling. Means you cannot write a single program like that. You have to check each and every step. If one step is successfully run, then only it will go to another. Okay. Same here. It will the code is not directly written that it will delete. Just understand like that. It will check one process is complete, then only it will go to next step. Here, same thing in programming in DevOps. In a way, it will first check whether the process is working or not. I mean, the ingestion is if it is too high or the capacity is getting full, the ingestion is still not stopping. Okay, then the deletion process will not work. Okay, if the ingestion is little bit slow, then or the capacity is decreasing, then only it will be deleting it. The ingestion is decreasing, then only it will deleting it. Then otherwise it will not delete. If the process is running continuously, it will not delete it. Okay, so that is how you write a code or see, I'm not a
So
programmer.
but the log ingestion from the devices will be first stored in the where then it go to PMA and then it go to channel how
Hmm.
it's work like this right
Yes.
so okay so it means that if so this where log file space is by default 650 MB or like we can increase it as well like according to our need.
Now so this var capacity is not 650 MB. Only
Yes.
this it has by default takes 650 MB. Okay, so what we do is since this was a problem, so what we insist client is that you should have enough capacity for var logs. So if you have, let's say, for 250 to 300 GB ingestion per day, then your forwarder should have at least the forwarder size should have 1 TB of data. Sorry, 1 TB disk size. Okay, we recommend like that. It is too high, but we still tell them 500 GB or will work. But we ask them to have this disk size of the machine to be 1 TB if the ingestion is 200 to 350 GB per day. Okay,
Okay.
that is one thing. Still, it will not work. So what we do, we ask to build a cron job. Okay, cron job to delete that file, to delete the logs in a continuous manner. Okay, so initially we asked to delete it, but we okay, so not delete it, and that way you will not understand. There's a term called log rotation. Okay, that is a term called log rotation. Infra team will be able to do that, or your Linux team will be able to do that. You can also do that, but that's not how it should be. I mean, we do it. We don't take help of infra team, but it is how it works. You should ask the Linux team. Okay, so you put a log rotation. Log rotation means it will first of all compress all the logs. Okay, it will store in the compressed format for some period of time, and at some period of time, like in 6 hours or 12 hours, however you configure, it will delete that data. Okay, after some period of time, after some period of compression. So after 6 hours, that compressed folder will not be in use, right? It already been sent, right? So we can delete that afterwards, like after 12 hours. So basically, you understand, for now, to deal with this, you have two things to do. One is to increase the capacity of the log forwarder. If the ingestion rate is 250 to 300 GB per day, you can recommend them to have 1 TB of log forwarder disk size. Second,
So if we recommend 1 TB of this size, like how much we will get the space over there like for log
it
storage
will
like
be enough to log forwarding. Okay, it will be
so it
enough.
depends on the
It
disk
is more
size.
than enough actually. Sorry.
It is so like this space size depend on the machine disk size, right?
The shape what you're telling.
Like if you increase the disk size of a machine,
Hmm.
then on like we can then the size of this where will be also increased, right?
Yes, obviously. In that also we do one thing. If they're also we are suggesting suppose 1 TB, then we'll tell that you allot 500 GB to only where directory. Okay, like that also we tell them separately. You can tell them separately.
Okay,
Okay,
means
this
500
is one thing.
GB for a ware log. So
Hmm.
if the log ingestion is 200 GB,
So 300 GB, 250 to 300 GB
per day.
per day, per day.
Then, like, this problem will not occur, I think, never. Like, this, because we are only
No,
doubling
no,
the size.
no, you never know.
Okay.
Okay, so one thing I learned that you cannot be sure about everything in Linux at least. So so it happened actually. It not happened, but I have little bit less we did, but it we thought it will not happen. It happened. Okay, so we came up with another thing, log rotation, and that worked. So we have that practice that we will increase the size, but we will see these things are not told by Microsoft. They know this. They got to know this problem. We are doing it alternate things. Now they will be doing it in the AIM itself. You do not have to do it after maybe like 3-4 months or maybe 1 year. I don't know. But for now, what we do is simply increase the size of the disk. Second, do log rotation. Means apply log rotation for that var log directory. Okay. So okay. One more thing. Just understand. Just don't um, don't think it as complex. Just try to understand. When we do log rotation, okay. Suppose we'll do log rotation on var log file. Okay. That means all the file will get log rotated, right? Anything, everything is there, whatever, like Azure, BTMP, everything, all the folders will get log rotated, right? Which we do not want. We want a specific type of file to be log rotated, correct?
Yes.
Right? So what we do is that we we um we configure in such a way that the logs will come only in a particular format. Okay. For that, what we do, mm, see here I've written this specification. Okay, you can also check this. For 250 to 300 GB data, 1 TB space, 32 GB RAM, 8 cores. Okay. Mm, hmm. So what we do is in the RSys log. Okay, just login. Actually, I should not cover everything, but I'm just covering it because you're asking so many things. So
Thank you.
the
Actually,
it will means this much are not needed. So, I'll tell you, no problem. Mm, hmm. cd/etc/rsyslog.conf. Oh, okay, sorry, cat. Okay, we know this one, right? Like rsyslog.conf file, we uncommented this, right?
yes.
Correct. So what we can do is we can configure this rsyslog file to take all the logs. Okay, whenever someone sends any logs, it will store it in a specific format. Okay. How
Okay.
we can do that? We can just add one line before this global directives now. Okay, this global directive you will see everywhere. It will be in the rsyslog.conf. There will be like something like global directive here. Before this, okay, here, okay, you add one more line. That is this one, a template. Okay, this one. You will get it in my blog. So what it is saying that for all the remote incoming logs, okay, it will store in a specific format on the name of host name and the program. Okay, in var log directory. Understood? In this format only it will store everything. Okay, and where it will store in var log directory.
Okay.
And we are telling which log it will take, only the remote incoming logs. It should.
Okay.
And template is a command, like it will store. I mean, it is a template, like how it will store. Okay. So if you add this line here, okay, what will happen? That it will store all the incoming logs in this format: host slash program, host dot program. Okay, host dot program dot log files. Okay, slash program dot log file. Now, since all will come in this format, okay, now it is easy for us that we can locate that. Okay, whatever will come in host slash programs dot log that are incoming logs, and we can log rotate that specific logs only. Understood? सपोज क्या किया आपने आपने जो भी घर आ रहे हैं ना उनको एक टैग दे दिया कि ये चीज आप
Hmm.
गेस्ट हो.
Yes.
ओके, राइट नाउ इट इज इजी फॉर यू, राइट? जिसके पास टैग होगा गेस्ट का,
Okay.
यू
Rotate
राइट.
file.
हाँ, यू कैन जस्ट लॉग रोटेट. Okay, so this what you have to do, this what you can do because it is easy one. So you should you can take this, but log rotation you can do it your infra team. Okay, normally your infra team will help this one. Okay, so that is basically because Linux machine also provisioning they will only do if you are not doing. Okay, so this is one thing that you can do to log rotate. Okay, so did you understand at least a little bit?
Understand fully, actually.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
what about you, others?
A little bit confusing, but
What is confusing? Tell me. You should ask, you're not asking me anything.
so you're taking, I don't want to interrupt.
No, no,
So,
I told you you can interrupt me anytime. See, my purpose of this is to make you understand and to be very good with all these things. It will not be satisfied if you do not ask me, right?
yeah. So we discussed about EPS, right? Even per second.
Mhm.
So like it is a default EPS, or like we can select like the EPS even per second, like 5K EPS or 6K.
No, no, you cannot control that. EPS, it is there is no dependency. Okay, you cannot control EPS whether it is coming from somewhere or like for AMA or for any data source. Okay, it is fixed. For AMA, it has now changed to 20K EPS. Earlier it was 10K. Before that, initially it was 8,000. Now it is 20K. Okay, so it is not in our control. We cannot do anything.
So we are discussing about
Mhm.
the more logs getting into this where log file, right?
Mhm.